What's up? It's Kathy, and I'm back with another process video. And I'm still channeling my inner, I don't know what time period, I don't know, 2012, 2013, maybe even 2014 scrapper, maybe? I don't know. um, I had seen this technique on a layout that Elizabeth Karchner, Dear Lizzie, had done, I think back when she was on. I'm sorry if you heard that bang. My daughter just kicked the wall in her sleep, and my new microphone picks up sounds way more than just my computer mic did. So you may hear more. I always apologize, and people are like, I don't hear any noises. You may hear noises now. Very small house, very thin walls. So anyway. So this was a layout that probably was done around like the two peas era, two peas in a bucket era type thing. And she had just taken strips of paper, and then they were double-sided pattern paper, so she folded them. And I've seen it before. It's not, anything brand new. This is a technique many people have done, so I am not stepping out of the box or anything. But I hadn't really done it before. I mean, I'd done certain techniques similar to this, but not this exact technique of just strips of paper together. So I thought, why not? And I've been really on a kick of going through a lot of my older papers, and maybe it's just to make way for all the new releases that are coming out. And when I say older papers, I just mean like stuff that's either in my stash or in my scraps from a couple of years ago up to maybe even just 1 or 2 years ago. Just stuff that has been sitting there, and for some reason or other, I haven't bothered. I think for everything here, I grabbed scraps. None of it was a full piece of paper, except for the background paper, which is an old Maggie Holmes. And right now, every other paper except for one is also a Maggie Holmes paper. That chevron is crate paper. I think it was the Journey collection or something like that. One of their slightly older collections. And I don't actually end up using that multicolor chevron. And the reason is because all the others are a little bit more, their whites are a little bit more white than cream, but that one isn't. And the pattern paper on the other side isn't very interesting, and it doesn't really show up well. So I don't really like it. It's not that it didn't necessarily, I don't find it matches too. And I guess that's because of the cream color versus like a whiter color. So there's different Maggie Holmes collections that I'm using, and that paper, the one that's the cloud and then that's the hearts on the other side, I have no idea what it's from. I just have it. I must have ordered it forever ago. So I'm using it. I'm using the scrap that had the circle, and I had cut apart a Valentine's Day sheet that I had actually bought at Michael's, and it was just a bunch of journaling cards. So, not journaling cards, but like Project Life cards, 4x6s and 3x4s. So they were just kind of on my desk, and I really liked the gold doily, heart doily one, and the vellum that's the letter, it's looks like a dictionary, stuff like dictionary definitions and everything. I believe that was also from Michael's. So here's when I realized, oh yeah, I had taken this scrap of paper out too, and I just love those tiny polka dots. I just love polka dots. So polka dots on polka dots, because it's a big polka dot paper and a little polka dot paper, and then heart polka dots. So it's just everywhere. And even though the colors do not perfectly match, I like the look of it anyway. It's kind of all over the place. And I can understand it might not be some people's cup of tea, but you could pick, really small, pretty little florals and do this, or more masculine papers and do something exactly like this, and it would work on either one. I can pretty this up, or I can do it really kind of rough and masculine and do it however I want. I could also stitch in them if I felt like it. I don't feel like it. I'm lazy. I coin myself as the lazy scrapper, because it's not that I'm lazy, it's just that I don't have a lot of time. So doing all the intricate like hand stitching and stuff, I love it, but I can only do it sometimes. Because sometimes I just do not have the time. Even for something to dry, I don't necessarily have the time, and I'm also lazy. Like the minute I start the project, I want to see the finished product. I don't want to wait forever to see my finished product. So I guess I'm lazy in that sense, that I'm just too lazy to put effort into it. So I think this is Maggie Holmes' open book collection, and I bought the chipboard. I think I have some of the papers, like a paper pad of it, and I haven't used hardly any of it. The paper pad, I mean, I have used quite a bit of the chipboard. I'm just like, let's just see how much I can use of this chipboard. I just want to go crazy and use some and get it out of my stash, really, because I get really excited when I use up stuff and get to eliminate it from my stash. And, you know, I'm not throwing it out. It's on something, so I haven't wasted it. So that makes me feel good. And even more Maggie Holmes stuff. I guess I was just kind of like, I like Maggie Holmes stuff a lot, but I don't always buy a lot of it because it's very, very feminine, and there's only me and my daughter to scrapbook feminine pictures of, and the rest are all boys. So I tend to not gravitate towards buying Maggie Holmes stuff immediately, but in the end, I just love vintage and I can't help it. But I never have a reason to use it. So doing a selfie kind of helps me do that. Whenever I'm stuck and I have a bunch of product and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I'm like, if I use it on myself, I'm not worried. Because my daughter wears very bright colors. Like she loves pinks and purples and bright colors like that. And she's always wearing that kind of thing. So the more kid-friendly stuff works very well. But then what am I supposed to do with all these vintage florals and everything? And I just use them for myself because I like to document my own pictures. Not all my selfies. I'm not like, oh, I have to document every single picture of myself. But I like the idea of my scrapbook containing pictures of me as well as pictures of my husband and my kids. So, because I'm kind of documenting my journey. It's my life that I'm documenting, and everybody else is getting documented as part of that. So that's kind of how I look at it. In the end, they're kind of for me in the end. So I can look back and be like, oh yeah, I remember when I had that haircut or something like that. Anyway, I'm kind of moving around a bunch of stuff. I did a lot. I took out a lot of ephemera, so I was really happy to get to use up some of it, especially things like that big antique camera. Now, I mean, I hid a lot of it, but I got to use it, and now it's out of my stash, so that makes me happy. Use that little paper bow rather than an actual bow, just because it was something I'd use up. And I wanted to make sure I had it like black and white striped stuff in 3 different places. So there's the little vellum circle, there's the bow, and there's the leaf at the top. So my next decision is, what am I going to do for a title? And I started looking through the big Dear Lizzie words, like that she put out with Stargazer, I believe. And I really love them, and I have the set of them, and it was cute, but it was like, why does it need to say today? It has nothing to do with anything. So I had these Bella Boulevard ones, and I only have a few of them left, and I thought, why not just get rid of them? I didn't want to alter them. I wanted the white title because nothing else is... when in doubt, add a bit more white. If your layout's looking too cream colored or too off-white and you're finding there's a weird imbalance, then do that. And I really hope my husband does not come in this room because he's got his YouTube playing, and I'm like, it's gonna pick up on the microphone. He keeps walking by. I'm gonna have to hit him. I swear. I'm totally gonna hit him if he comes in. Anyway, I popped it up on Phone Dots because of the fold in the paper. It needed it, and I had to put a bit of extra, what is it called? Adhesive. Wow, that was sad. adhesive on it. Just because those ones never stop. Word brain fart there. They don't stick all that well. So I'm putting extra adhesive, and I just thought, oh, I have the fabulous one. Let's just use Be Fabulous because, you know, I'm just trying to be encouraging to myself, I guess, would be how it works. So yeah, this is like a total stash busting layout for me. And it's not even part of my Trim Your Stash because I ended that. So I guess I'm just going to be stash busting for absolutely no reason. And then of course the eternal struggle of what color Heidi Swap Color Shine am I going to use, because I have to put drops on, right? Like, heaven forbid I didn't. I think I chose bronzer, which I don't choose very often. It's like a dark browny gold. And I just wanted something that was contrasting to all the bright colors that would really stand out, because I could have put gold, but I liked this better. It was really noticeable. And that is it. Pictures are coming up, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.